Hello, and welcome to the last recap review of the Book of Boba Fett on my channel because it doesn't look like there's going to be a second season. Spoiler alert! If you haven't heard, it's ridiculous because Boba Fett has been such a fan favorite over the years, and now he's not even going to get a second season. But it's true, you guys. He's not going to get a second season. There's been nothing to confirm that there is even a possibility that there's going to be a second season. And apparently, Ming Na Wen got in trouble for saying it was the first season, and people jumped to conclusions that there was a second season. And so, like, she had to go and correct herself. Like, it's insane. Let me just start off by saying a few things. So this is um like the actual mindset that I'm in for the last 3 episodes of the show. Um, yep, as anticipated, the fandom is going nuts over Din and Grogu, as opposed to Boba and Fennec, the protagonists of the Book of Boba Fett. Can't y'all give API actors one show? And for those who aren't aware, API usually means Asian Pacific Islanders. Which, Tamora Morrison is Maori, so he's a Pacific Islander. But it is, it's so frustrating. I didn't want to do a recap of the 6th episode because I was just feeling like it was going to be more of the same. I was just going to have to keep talking about why I wanted Boba Fett back. I wanted less Mandalorian or Din Djarin, however you want to call him. And I do love Grogu, and I was gonna bring Grogu just to prove to you how much I love him. But I feel like you don't need to see him to see that I love him. I just feel like this is the one character of color that got his own show in Star Wars. Like, um, I just recently found out, but that will be for another video, and I'll explain that in another video why he's the only character of color that's gotten their own property in Star Wars. I will explain that, like, the whole colorism problem in another episode. But today we're gonna focus on some of the fan reactions that I've seen around Tumblr that aren't getting enough attention, okay? Because there's some issues that we need to focus on. So first of all, let's see. Okay. So did y'all catch the story this past week? Okay, so this is the screenshot. Jennifer Beal says she pushed back against her Book of Boba Fett character being called Master. Madame Garcia was her character's name. In the original script, my employees referred to me as Master. Beals revealed to Insider following her shocking death at the end of episode 6. I felt in this world I'm creating my establishment sanctuary, given that I come from an enslaved people. Perhaps we can choose better language, something that was more in line with her ethos and vision of her place. She continued, and they thought that was a good idea, and they changed it to Madam. I was really grateful for that. And okay, so yeah, she didn't have a huge plot line. But I was so devastated when they killed her. Honestly, I was just so mad. And I was hoping that they'd bring her back. And there's gonna be spoilers galore, so maybe just nope out of here if you haven't finished the season. But they are bringing back Cobb Vanth. He's in the back to tank. He's gonna be back, and they are not bringing back Madame Garcia Whip. So I'm really, 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 really mad about this. I cannot convey to you how angry I am about this. From the beginning, I have since I first found out that the first Twi'lek in that was painted green in the original The Return of the Jedi movie. Like apparently she was a black woman, a black actress that they painted green and they sexualized her, and like everybody focuses on Princess Leia and they don't talk about the fact that a black woman was sexualized and then killed off on screen. Like, yeah, Princess Leia was in a slave outfit, but like they were using a black body to sexualize and then discard. And it's like they only had one other black character in the entire trilogy. They only had Lando Calrissian, and he's, gotta say, fairly light skinned. And, okay, so it's just really frustrating. Sorry, I have to pause now. Okay, so continuing. So yeah, I am just so angry that they killed off Madame Garcia Fwip. Like, I feel like she was very um, amenable to Boba Fett, and she was just like a nice person. And that why do they have to go and kill her? But they bring back Cobb Vanth. Like, Star Wars is filled to the brim with white guys. Okay, like seriously, can we just not make it all about the white guys all of a sudden? And before you go there, no, Pedro Pascal is not a man of color. He is a white Latino. Okay, and I will prove it to you. So let's go and prove it. Let's pause. Okay, so this one in particular, it's an anon that we got at the Star Wars Fandom Hates People of Color blog. And this is what the anon says. I have to agree with that other anon. Pedro's stance have been incredibly annoying with the way they've responded to fandom discourse. This includes a lot of them continually using his Latino identity. He's still a white Latino benefiting from white privilege. By the way, how many times are we going to repeat this? To miss the point of conversations addressing Disney's racism, shoving aside their leads of color for Din's story and emotional conflict. They act like fandom is somehow bullying Pedro when in reality people are rightfully calling out Disney for treating Tamora like this. At the end of the day, the Book of Boba Fett was nothing more than a stepping stone for the Mandalorian show, which sucks, since Din's concept was copied from Boba to begin with. Oh my god, please use links now that you can put them in the asks. That was what I said. But I continue to say, but I would totally agree with you. I kind of wish that these fans saying that Pedro is a person of color would come into our inboxes and leave the littler blogs alone. Like, Pedro is white. He has so much privilege everywhere in the world, and the disrespect that they brought in a white man, Pedro, to take away from Boba's niche in the Star Wars universe, and now they're claiming that we, the fans of color, are bullying Pedro. What the fuck is this nonsense? This is the same thing they did to John Boyega, accused him of going after Reylo fans when they were the ones who'd been anti-black first. Like, I don't know if you guys were around on the internet for that whole thing, but like basically, like just a quick rundown. Like, the Reylo fans were saying that John Boyega was jealous of Kylo Ren because Kylo Ren had more chemistry with Rey than Finn did, and Finn I think John Boyega posted a picture of him hugging Rey, and they were saying, and people were like basically so upset with him, and they were bullying him and his fans, and like it was just like it was a whole thing. Like, they were like, I'm surprised he didn't quit Twitter after that, because they were being so horrible to him and his fans. But he just like kept being a trooper about it. Anyways, so it's very similar, because now they're acting like the Pedro Pascal fans are claiming he's a person of color, even though Pedro Pascal says he's white. And so like here's some proof that he's white. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Oh, this is not proof, but this is another thing that's important. This is an anon that says, I think another facet of the Pedro not being seen as a white situation is American white supremacy functioning exactly as intended. With the purpose of whiteness in this context is to contrast opposed blackness, which is a narrow definition and a false dichotomy, then of course there would be people who don't fall into the black category, but who white folks don't deem worthy of whiteness. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense, of course, but it's just preposterous that it's 2022 and white people are still calling self-proclaimed white people people of color. Let me see if I can find the Pedro proof. I think it's this one. Okay, so I'm not gonna read this whole thing because it just goes on and on and on. And like I will post all the links to all of these things that I'm reading on the in the description. Okay, so basically Pedro Pascal says right here, I don't know if you guys can read it if it's not big enough, but oh, there we go, made it bigger. Okay, so honestly I wish I could have taken them off for you, dude. Admitted he's white. That's what I said to somebody else. But like here's the actual tweet and the URL for the tweet. It's a little crazy the persistently marginal way North Americans understand Latin America. This coming from one of the whiteys. This is Pedro Pascal himself. See the little check mark? That is him. Okay. So this is actually I had not said this. Sorry, I misspoke. This is Madlena. But so yeah, like so I'm just reiterating and putting this into this ask because this person thought that Pedro Pascal was not white. And then here's some more proof that he's white. Here's okay, so here's the interview with Pedro's sister. Her last name is Balmaceda. Pedro uses his mother's last name. So here's a website, and then here's the actual. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Okay. Javiera Balmaceda, head of originals, Mexico, Colombia, Argentina, Chile for Prime Video. I am so sorry if you can't hear this, but I am not doing this again because I am so sick of this whole like fandom drama that nobody wants to acknowledge the fact that Pedro Pascal is white. Okay, so scrolling down, this is Pedro's sister Javi or Javiera and Balmaceda. And okay, so here she says, I have a very particular experience as a Latina, one who is immigrant, a native Spanish speaker, and white that is different from other Latinos. We can't truly say we're diverse unless we're making sure Latinx individuals from across the diaspora are welcomed at the decision-making table. Okay, so they in no uncertain terms are stating that they are white. So this fandom problem of proclaiming Pedro Pascal as a person of color and insisting that he is light-skinned and just white passing is wrong, okay? They literally said, he and his sister have literally said that he is white. Okay. So there's that. I think no. Oh, I wanted to show this one. Okay. Okay. No. You know what? I'm not going to read all these because it's going to take me forever. It's going to turn into a 40-minute video. Okay. I know you've been having this discussion about Pedro for a while, but I am a bit confused about where all this is going. I mean, he's not a man of color, and the rest of the fandom hypes his every breath. Honestly, don't feel comfortable being a fan of him anymore, especially if he adds to Star Wars Disney's race problem. And then, oh wow, I don't know who answered this one, me or I think it was me. I don't know. Okay, so this is what we said at the blog. I mean, it's just clarifying the fact that Mando Dinjarin occupies a niche in Star Wars that belongs to Boba Fett, an actual man of color. For those wanting to argue that Pedro is a man of color, please educate yourself by clicking on the Pedro Pascal tag on this blog It's frustrating because there doesn't seem to be another season in the works for Boba Fett, but Mando is going to be here for a while. Like, you could be a fan of Pedro Pascal, of course. We're not here to police anyone. It's just a red flag that most white fans love Mando and hated the Book of Boba Fett. But, like, I do have to add the caveat that Pedro is supportive of his sister who's trans, so he doesn't really seem like a bad dude. I just, hate that no reviewers like the Book of Boba Fett, but everyone praises Mando, Luke, and Cobb Vanth appearances. It's sickening. So, like, it's just, we cannot get the word out about this misconception that people continue to have that Pedro Pascal is a man of color. And they think it's fine that the powers that be at Disney and Lucasfilm have basically marginalized Boba Fett in his own show, handed over entire episodes to Din Djarin, Luke Skywalker, and like even Ahsoka came on, and Cobb Vanth came on, and Cad Bane came on. I mean, like literally two of them are completely CGI. Cad Bane and Luke Skywalker. Like, it's just so frustrating. And I like, I don't understand. Sorry. Oops. I don't understand how come we have to fight with fandom in 2022. Like, I mean, it doesn't seem like racism has gotten better after President Obama. I feel like it's getting worse. People are getting more in their trenches, actively racist. They like just don't care anymore. They don't care if they're seen as racist. They just don't want to be called racist. But like that's pretty much the end of it because they continue to do racist things on purpose. You know what I'm saying? It's very frustrating. But yeah, so that's my rant about the Book of Boba Fett. I wanted more Boba Fett in the Book of Boba Fett. I wanted more Fennec Shand. I wanted more Madame Garcia Flip. I wanted. I basically, when I say, and when these asks, when we're saying that Mandalorian occupies the niche that Boba Fett should have been in, we're basically saying they could have done the very same storyline with Boba Fett. You know? Like, literally, they could have done the very same storyline because let's look at the facts here. Both Din Djarin and Boba Fett are bounty hunters. Okay? Yeah, the Book of Boba Fett was about Din Djarin coming, like, going to get Baby Yoda or Grogu, and like in the second half. But in the beginning, when it was just about the Book of Boba Fett, like we could have gotten seasons about like whole um his whole development of why he didn't want to be a bounty hunter anymore. And like I feel like people just they don't like they I don't know, like I just they're not being honest about the fact that they would rather not see a man of color succeed, and they're I would just appreciate it a lot more if people just said, you know what, I'm racist. I just do rather support the white men in Star Wars instead of the men of color. And like it would just be a lot less stressful for me, to be honest. Because then I could be like, you know what, then I can give up on you. I don't need to interact with you. I can just block you. But there seems to be this continuing misinformation. I mean, it's all over society right now. Like this misinformation about the vaccine and the misinformation about the election, and It's just so tiring. And I know this is no longer about the book of Boba Fett. It's about, how misinformation is everywhere. But it really is. Like, oh, I did want to show hold on, one more second. Oh, I did want to, it wasn't exactly this one, but I do think Royal Handmaidens has a point here. Tamora Morrison should get to cameo and Kenobi as whoever he wants. He quite literally has over 1 million options and take over 3 whole episodes. It's only fair. I think he should take over 4 episodes because he's just that awesome. But okay. So the other thing I wanted to show you. Okay, so here is an article that I could not even get through reading. It was so triggering. It continues in the same vein as oh, sorry, maybe if I shared it that would be nice. Okay, so here's the article. It says the Book of Boba Fett is so much better when you realize Boba Fett is the series villain. He isn't poorly defined or thinly drawn. He just isn't a hero, and he wasn't ever supposed to be. First of all, what? WTF, man. WTF. I need to stop cussing on my YouTube because I do. Anyways, so like this whole thing is just like, why? Why can't you just accept that he has some character growth? And then like it's just I didn't even want to read this. It just makes me so mad. It makes my blood boil. And I have another ask in here that I responded to. Hold on a second. Okay, so I know you can't tell because I paused it, but basically, this is an ask that I am so grateful to this Anon. And I had to turn off Anon because my Anons were being outrageous, but last night. But okay, so here's what the Anon says. That Polygon article about Boba Fett argued that he was a villain, but hasn't Boba Fett grown a lot in the Clone Wars cartoon? His father was murdered in front of him. The article argued that he was mostly selfish. But Boba Fett seemed to partly care about Baby Yoda, even though he wanted his armor back. He saved the Tusken Raider child as well. Boba Fett was maybe villainish in the prequels and the original trilogy, but he seems to have grown since then, especially since he met the Tusken Raiders. The Polygon article said that the reason for his wanting to retire and be a crime lord was vague. He wanted to help the people of Tatooine by being a less abusive crime lord. More like a Robin Hood type, but I guess Robin Hood was more of an anarchist. But Boba Fett has come a long way, and he probably doesn't want any other Tusken Raider clan to suffer the way his adopted clan did, right? Now I'm a few episodes behind on episode 4, but he doesn't seem like a villain to me. He has a good heart. He's probably traumatized by the death of his father and the oppression of his people. The article argues that the show becomes better when you see him as a villain. Boba Fett, that is. I disagree. I think it becomes better when one takes the racist glasses off and see Boba Fett as a complex anti-hero. The show, like The Mandalorian, portrayed the Tusken Raiders better. I hope there are some survivors so they can meet Boba Fett again in season 2. Maybe the Tusken Raider boy. And I'm so grateful for this, Anon. I'm just gonna go ahead and answer it and thank you for your words. I couldn't have said it better myself. Mod Alley. Okay, so I I think that was the perfect response personally to I think that was a perfect response personally to the Polygon article, which was just a hot mess of misinformation and insisting on viewing things through racist lenses. And it's like people cannot be reasoned with at this point. There are so many people that just want to be racist and be like, no, this is bad actually because he's a man of color. And I find good men of color to be boring. Basically, that's what they're saying to me. That's what they all sound like to me, is really what it is. So, anyways, this has been a very tiresome 40 minutes. Has it not been 40 minutes? No, it's been 25 minutes. Oh, it's because I paused a bunch. Okay, well, thank you for watching my series. My watch alongs, my recaps, reviews, and fandom racism bit and everything. I hope to do the same thing for Obi-Wan show, but I'm not sure. And I might do it for the Bad Batch only because there's a lot of issues with the Bad Batch. But let me know if you like these videos. This is by far my most successful series on my YouTube channel. Like I think one of the highest the most watched video of all my videos got like 250 views, I think it was, and it was one of this series. So I'm like, maybe I should do more Star Wars. It's tiring. It's exhausting when people don't appreciate people of color and like the white fans are out in force. It's just exhausting. And it's like, it really makes me not like Star Wars anymore. This is what being a fan of color is like in sci-fi fandoms. Like, you can't enjoy it because there's so much racism. And so it's like you could do one of two things. You could enjoy the media by itself and not engage in fandom racism and just be happy in the escapism, or you could engage in the fandom and realize that the fandom is the reason that they mess up on the Book of Boba Fett and bring out the white dudes. They'd rather have the white dudes on a man of color show. I don't know. I'm just so rambly now. I'm so tired. Don't even like and subscribe to this. Just, if you watch to the end, you get a cookie, a virtual cookie, but a cookie no less. I will, pictures of cookies for you. Alrighty. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.